Hello and welcome. About 3 weeks ago, I dropped off my truck at Rossmonster in Longmont, Colorado. For the last 2 weeks, I'm almost getting daily updates about the build progress. I'm thinking we're probably 30 to 40% done. At least that's my guess, even though it looks like they're much further. But in the beginning, it's the larger, the easier stuff. Now the build moves to the smaller stuff. So like doing all the electrical, all the plumbing, and the smaller things really that potentially use a lot more time or need a lot more time to be implemented. And I think it's a good time. I have a lot of pictures available from the build process to go through and just take you along of how this build is developing and what I'm doing in certain areas and why. And I hope you really enjoy seeing how an expedition vehicle is being built, because I'm totally excited. Every day it's almost like a crack. It's like I need to get my fix. I need to get new pictures and take a look at what my truck looks like and how this expedition vehicle journey is coming along. So come along, take a look, and we'll take it from there. So here you can see my truck parked in front of the Rossmonster facility. It was a bittersweet moment to leave the truck behind. And yeah, I'm without a vehicle at the moment, so I'm really scrambling a little bit here and there. I've been using Uber, I've been using my son's car, but I'm trying to make it through those 6-8 weeks without a vehicle. But it was also exciting to leave the truck there, because I knew within a couple of days Rossmonster would start working on the truck. And I knew they wouldn't start immediately after dropping off. This was more like we picked this week so that they have it on site, and then depending on their schedule that they could start working on it. As you can see here, the bed has been removed. The upgraded wheels and tires have been installed in the rear, not in the front yet. Here you can see part of the leaf springs, and the bluish items here that you see are part of the Carli Pintop suspension. The leaf springs are upgraded to 3,500 pounds per site, and the shocks are custom tuned related to this leaf spring set coming from Carli. And this is how a truck looks like from behind with no bed installed. The one thing you notice, if you go back into the beginning, the window in the rear looks different. It's no longer a window actually. So they already took the actual window out and replaced it with a placeholder, because at one point they will cut a hole into the rear for the pass-through from the truck into the camper. And here's a great view again onto the wheel and tire. The tire is in Toyo Open Country RT Trail. It looks really nice and beefy, and I think it's a good mix between road capabilities and off-road. And then you see the leaf springs, how thick the leaf springs are. So it's exciting to know that this build is on its way. So then here you can see the camper shell, the Baja shell, installed on the rear of the truck. This is really, I want to say, the first important step. And yeah, from that perspective, it makes sense that they only replaced the wheels and tires and the suspension in the rear, because they need to get started in the rear so that they can work in parallel on the vehicle. This is the side view, no windows installed. You can look into the camper, so you see the aluminum frame in here, and in person I saw it already, and it looks really, really strong. So I have no concerns of taking this build on the road and go off-roading. Here is the view from the front. In the lower left, you can see it's still the original wheel and tire on the truck. Again, they did this in the rear, really from an efficiency perspective. Take the bed off, with the bed off, replace the suspension, put the wheels and tires on, good to go to install the camper shell. What I really like here with the Baja as well is how low it sits over the roof of the truck cap. So there's enough room that there can be sway and the truck can work when I go off-roading, but it's also very low just from a wind resistance perspective. A view from the front, same thing here. It's really just an all-around good-looking start, and I'm really, really excited. Here with the side entrance, you can look in the rear a little bit, and yeah, this is how this fiberglass composite material looks like with the aluminum frame inside. So they built the shell, then they put the aluminum frame inside, then it goes to painting because it needs that stability, and you don't want it to crack the paint without having the stability of the aluminum frame already attached to the shell. Here you can see part of that window again that I mentioned, or the placeholder. This is where the pass-through will be cut into the back of the truck and then nicely covered so that it's really nice and convenient, but also sealed very well from the weather. At the bottom, you see the aluminum framing really, really strong. It's the same fiberglass material in the bottom and around the wheel wells. Everything will be nicely covered, but this is strong material, so I have no concerns to take this thing off-road. So now this is the next update, and if you look, the subflooring has been put in. So originally, you see the framing here, and now the subfloor has been installed, and that's really the first step to have this platform inside so that they can start building everything. So a quick disruption here. I'm really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do me the favor and hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. And the benefit for you also is that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks again, and let's continue. Anything else on top of it. Again, subfloor, not much else here to see. And now you can see the insulation has been put in and the windows are leaning against the frame here. No changes to the pass-through just yet. But with the insulation going in, that's really the first important step, because now they can start hiding cables, as you can see here already. They're not going between the insulation and the outside. They're going between the frame and the insulation. The windows have also been installed. You can see that here. That's really interesting from a certain perspective. And I want to say, when I ordered the Baja, they had different windows in the upper row. And I'm glad actually they switched along the way, and I'm able to take advantage of the updated windows. These are Arctic Tern windows from what it looks like, and they fold out. And so it's easier to use those in bad weather. But I think these are better looking windows, and I'm really glad that I get the benefit of time of having to wait so long and them making a decision to change it. But you can see cabling hanging in here. The insulation is going in. Re-insulation with a big window in the rear will be nice to have a lot of daylight when the roof is up. So I'm very, very cool to see the progress on this build. Over the bed, you can see the insulation, and then there will be, again, a subfloor for the bed where the mattress will go. I will install an updated Froley system, I think it's what it's called. This is against mold building under the mattress. So the mattress will be slightly elevated and there's some airflow. So just in case, to really avoid any mold. But that's me later on down the road. For now, really, the important part is the windows are in, the insulation is in. Here on the rear, you can see the large window again. Underneath the window, you see a small camera. I had the Wolfbox G930 rear view mirror camera and dash cam installed. This system has a rear-facing camera, and when I dropped off the truck, the camera was mounted right above the license plate, and Rossmonster, as part of this build, installed the camera for me right underneath the window, so it's high elevated, great for really looking out in the rear and see what's going on. The cable is also protected. It's going on the inside of the camper, and so from that side, I really like having the camera higher up and having a better rear view when driving. So now the vehicle has been moved outside. I'm pretty sure they have different bays where they do certain parts of the work. You can see here now that the wall paneling is going in. It's like a cloth material. Helps with noise in general. I'm not sure if there's a big insulation factor. I think there is, if I'm not mistaken. And then you can see some of the cabinetry going on. The big gap, if you look straight ahead here, with the cabinet in on the left and the two holes up on top, this is for the shower. So that gap that you see on the right side of the screen, and I'm moving the mouse around, hopefully that shows up on the screen, this is where the shower will go. A closer look, you can now tell that the pass-through into the truck bed, into the truck cab, has been cut. It's not covered up yet, so this is really just the cut itself that has happened. Also on the wall, you see the actuators. Those are the electric actuators that later on will lift the roof. There will be two in the front. You see them here, and there's one on the left, and there will be two in the rear that will lift the entire roof based on the electronic system that is being installed. Here's a cabinetry that's going in. So this is where the kitchen sink will be. On the right side would be the shower. In the rear, this will be the dinette. So there will be enough space for two people to sit on each side. I'm traveling alone with my dog, so it shouldn't be a big deal for me. And it should be large enough for the dog to climb up there on the other side and just hang out. At the bottom, there will be a raised floor for several reasons. So for one, I have a fridge that is a little taller, and I also don't have the storage in the middle of the rear. Let me switch to a different picture here. You see the fabric all the way going down to the bottom. The default combination or the default design in the Rossmonster Baja has storage down here, and then that helps them to put the electrical system there. I did not want the storage. I wanted a little more space for my feet, and so that the dinette is really just two benches. And so to really have enough space for everything, the floor needs to be raised. On the left-hand side, you can see that as well. The big opening is for the fridge. And on the right-hand side, there will be a 40-gallon water tank that goes in. With the raised floor, it's not a big deal. It's really just a small step up. And it's like initially it was like a concern for me just from a looks perspective and just ease of just being able to move around. But I don't think it's a big deal. I'm really excited to have the dinette with the two benches on each side and a little more leg space compared to having the storage there. So here you can see the drawer set that will go in. The fridge will go on the right. Again, on a default build, you will have induction cooktop installed on top when the countertop goes in. I decided not to have the induction cooktop fixed installed. I selected a portable induction cooktop so I can cook inside, but also can take it outside and cook outside. I prefer cooking outside and just keeping the smell and the grease outside of the camper. But if the weather is bad, I can take it inside and then just, of course, cook something that hopefully is not too smelly and doesn't have too much grease and fat going everywhere. But with the drawer bank here, or the drawers here, there should be plenty of space for utensils and pots and pans and all that stuff. Looking forward to that. Here is the rear storage on the left-hand side, as where the electrical system will go. On the right-hand side, it will be for the furnace, for the Aqua Hot 125G furnace and hot water heating system. Here is a view at the front. You can see that the bed cover or the bed floor has been installed. You can look through into the truck cab. There's a fan for better airflow for the work, I guess. But now you can access the truck cab from the camper and vice versa. So this is the next update. Again, you see more cables hanging here where the actuators are. Then you see the floor for the shower and the larger wall that will be part of the shower compartment. There's some space on the right-hand side. This is where the actuators need some space. There will be some additional storage available for me, but in general, just imagine there will be another wall to complete the shower compartment. And then here you see a picture of the front. Now the wheels and tires and the Charlie suspension have been installed on in the front. Looks really great. This is kind of what I had at my previous rig, just with a different tire. It's the same wheels, but a different tire, and I like the look of the Toyo Open Countries in this case. So now you can have a look at the roof. So this is 800 watts of solar that is installed. You see two max air fans and a nomadic air conditioner in the middle. There's still some space. I could probably squeeze another solar panel up there. That is to be determined. I think with 800 watts of solar on there, I will be okay. I also have ports to plug in external solar panels. So we'll see how this goes. If I need to upgrade something down the road, it can easily be done. These are easy to replace, but in general, I think, and based on my experience from my previous rig, 800 watts of solar will be just perfect. You see that the roof is hanging here. And when I visited the Rossmonster facility, and I will put a link to that tour video in here in the upper right-hand corner, they told me they will install everything to the roof first before mounting it to the truck. It's just simply more efficient to do this outside of the camper. And I totally agree. I mean, if you lower the roof down to work height, it's so easy to move everything on top of the roof and install it. So I think Rossmonster really has spent a lot of time to optimizing their workflows, and this is a good example of it. This is the roof from underneath. So there's no insulation installed yet. You can see the fan. You can see part of the air conditioner cable hanging down. The bottom part of the air conditioner has not been installed, but it's good to see the roof from underneath. So again, it's the same fiberglass composite material that is being used, and it's being worked on exactly the same way. So it has an aluminum frame that is strong enough to hold the weight and really make this a sturdy fixed camper with a pop-up roof. Here is the left rear side of the dinette. The first electrical components have been moved in, and we'll have to see. You can see this is, I want to say, tight. I'm not sure what is below the left side, if there are the batteries or what's going on there, but very good to see that the system is going in the big blue component with nothing on top, the just blank blue. I'm circling it with the mouse here. That is most likely the 3000 watt inverter that is installed. It's a Victron component. The entire system is Victron. So high quality, very happy with it. This is the next update I received. Now the roof has been worked on. You can see the side panels partially installed. You can see the insulation going in. You see more cables hanging. So the work is progressing great. And if you look straight ahead at the bottom, you see all the cable rolls in the back of the building. So they really have it streamlined. They just pull the cables out, cut them to length, and boom, it's right in place. Now the roof is a little lower, and don't be confused if you see a white truck in the rear. It has the same wheels and tires, what it looks like, maybe different tires, but it's not my truck. Because this one still has the factory wheel and tire in the front. But if you look closely, this is a diesel. That's the 6.7 liter diesel engine. And you can see this down here, moving the mouse around. Ford always slaps that diesel component as not a sticker, but an emblem on the side of the door. So this is not my truck, but it's funny to see another white truck being built there. Plus the other thing that is missing, if you look up here, I have the Baja design LP4s in amber light up here, and this truck does not have it. But I think white is a great color for going off-road. It really doesn't make you see all the scratches, all the dirt, and it doesn't heat up as much as like a black truck compared to what I had before. Here, and as part of this step, you can now see the part of the shower compartment. So the floor has been removed. You see part of the plumbing that goes in where the shower pan will be. And so there is the drain for the shower. Then on this picture here, you can see that the countertop on the left side, on the driver's side of the truck, has been installed and is probably glued to the cabinetry. But this is where the sink will go, and then there's a small area that I can use for just putting stuff that I need to wash in the sink, as an example, or whatever else. But it's a fairly short countertop on this side. When we take a look at the other side, there will be more countertop space. But this is a Korean countertop. You can see it's not the same thickness as you have like in a residential kitchen. And of course, this is for weight reasons. This is the opposite side, so this is the passenger side, larger countertop area. Then on the far left side, you can see two black pieces of metal hanging down. So this is a fold-up portion. There will be an additional piece of countertop, so I can extend the countertop probably by 1/3. I would say, giving me more workspace, but also it's in front of the door, and I will have that two-piece door so that I can look outside, and I can actually turn this or use this as a stand-up desk. Take my laptop, move it over there, and look outside while working. Well, I wouldn't be working when I look outside, but you get the idea. Having a nicer view in the background really makes it more enjoyable. And then this is a part of the final update here. These pictures came in at the end of this week. Today is August 24th. So the last 2 days, they also installed the front bumper. This is a Buckstop Outback aluminum bumper. They installed a Warn 16,500 pound winch and the PIA fog lights. The bumper is made from aluminum, but it's really strong, and this is insurance for me. So I will be traveling a lot in rural areas, just parts of the open country, and you will encounter wildlife. And if you have seen a vehicle that hit a deer or an elk, it's not good for the vehicle, not good for the deer or elk, of course, either. But this bumper here will be my protection for the front, so that the animal impact, I hope it will never happen, but if it should happen, will protect the truck with minimal damage to the vehicle. This is the bumper from the side, and it definitely adds a little bit of length to the truck. So I assume I will be over 25 feet long, which is fine. It will cost me a bit more when I use ferries going to different places, but so be it. And then again, here's the rear. You can see the rear view bumper. The LED lights have been installed. There are two rigid lights as well to really have extra illumination when going backwards. The three black Molly panels here, the one on the left and on the right, will receive storage boxes. So that will be my outside storage. It should pretty much be plenty of space for everything that I'll take that needs to be outside, like leveling blocks, my propane fireplace that I carry around, recovery gear, and some tools. You get the idea. The middle Molly panel, I have not put a storage box there. I can still do this and order one from Rossmonster. I'm not sure yet what I put there. It could be that I put some tools like a shovel or an axe, maybe some rotor packs of additional gasoline in case I think I need additional gasoline. This truck has 48 gallons in the factory tank, so we'll have to see if I need additional gasoline. The big question will be in winter. The aqua hot heating runs on gasoline. It goes into the gasoline tank, and it goes to about 25% volume left in the tank. So I have to figure out if that will be enough for me. I was told it takes about 1 gallon of fuel for every 6 to 8 hours. So let's just assume 3 gallons per day. I'll have to see with my off-road travel and staying off the grid if that works or not. And then here the ceiling has been installed. This is a pine tongue and roof, whitewashed, and it's hard to tell with the light here if this is already whitewashed. I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So it still could be that this needs to be treated. But again, it's hard to tell from this angle. You can see the cutouts for some ceiling lights, and of course you see the wiring hanging down. So good process. If you look down, there's the cables, and there's a dog sitting there and supervising or snoopvising the build process. When I was at Rossmonster, they had several shop dogs there. People were able to bring their pets to work, and it's so cool to see the dogs just hanging out there and being with their owners, being with their family, I want to say, and being part of that larger Rossmonster family. So very cool. So this really is the build update for now. I'm not sure where to put this. Is this 40%? Is this 50%? Is this more? I don't know. So this was the current update for the build process on my Rossmonster Baja. Again, I'm thinking we're at 30 to 40% probably, but we'll see. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. And then I would say I see you next time in my next video. Thank you for watching.